What's up, fight fans? Greetings from the Wrestleverse. It's your host, Billy here, and it's time to take it to the ring. Alright, so on this episode of WrestleCap, we're going to be reviewing WWE Raw. So, tonight's episode, you're going to see Maryse and The Miz renew their vows, and kind of, it's more of an apology wedding, really. We're also going to see Dolph Ziggler challenge Damien for the United States Championship. Randy Orton versus Otis. And you get to see some other backstage stuff. Nothing too crazy. And then we see the Street Profits versus the Mysterios. The final match of the RK Bro tournament is going to be tonight as well. So hey guys, don't forget to check out our sweet merchandise here at Take It to the Ring. Click that link right there below. See all kinds of cool stuff. Ladies, we have some special merchandise for you as well, so be sure to check it out. So the first fight card of the night starts off with Randy Orton and Otis, the mighty Otis, coming out, and he's just looking stout and mean. Now, Randy Orton, he tries to do the RKO a bunch of times during this match. I think at least 3 or 4 times, but he just can't seem to lock it in on the massive Otis. Then Otis comes back with like big air for such a big guy too. He comes in, just nice big splash, flattens out Orton, big crossbody splash. And finally, Orton gets his RKO sort of off of the ropes, but it's kind of a half-ass RKO really. And Otis is kind of stunned at this point. So Randy ends up getting his second win, just kind of coming back, getting some extra energy, misses the RKO again, and then gets body slammed. And he just gets smushed. Otis is kind of manhandling, having his way with him at this point. So then Otis misses a splash off the top post, and then Randy gets his RKO, and then his 3 count. So he kind of rolls up, gets it, nails it in. So the next up, we see Riddle. He's in the ring. He's hyping up Randy. And he's like, oh, it's time for your Christmas gift, Randy. How about a nice big hug? And, they kind of hug. And reluctantly, I think Orton liked it. They kind of have a bromance going. They're good friends. So next up, we see Kevin Owens. He's being interviewed. He says he always had, he's got something to say, always, So he responds to the video of Big E. He's talking some smack. He says, this match is a mission. Big E has been there and he's not stopping. He's here to win on day 1. And Owens says, well, I'm here every week, every single day. Where are you guys at? You sent a video from home. What's up? I'm the hardest working guy in WWE. So Owens, he ends up coming back saying it was his idea to go after Bobby and beat him up on the steel stairs. So then next up, we see this big little montage with the air and, how he's coming to the WWE. And he's been coming to the WWE for a few months now. Let's see if he's actually going to be coming. I mean, it seems like he's been coming longer than Ron Jeremy. So let's see what ends up happening. So then next up, we see Dana Brooke and Reggie versus Tamina and The Truth. So Dana Brooke is the current 24-hour champion with Reggie, the former 24/7 champion. Tamina and True argue about who's going to be going into this match first. She doesn't even look like she wants to be there. She kind of has like this standing pissed off face. She's just angry, I guess. So The Truth and Reggie, they kind of face off first. Reggie goes down with a shoulder tackle. He's kind of feeling it. And then Tamina, she gets tagged in. Then the two of them kind of go back and forth, and a big thrust kick to Reggie in the face, like right in his head. He goes down pretty hard. Then Brooke gets tagged in. So now it's the 2 ladies, they're going back and forth at each other. This is Brooke. She comes in with like a cheerleader, some cartwheels, rolling around, bouncing around. So anyways, Tamina is in and just looking so mean, lays her out with a big shoulder tackle. And then Reggie and The Truth, they're back in. Reggie gets like this waist lock scissors takedown right into a cover in the 3 count. Very smooth. They like latched onto him, spun him around, got the win. So then the Truth and Tamina, they start fighting inside, and then they kind of go at it a little bit. Then the Truth bails out, and then Brooke takes Tamina out into the corner, does like this little cartwheel right into the corner, takes her out. And then backstage, we see Nikki talking about last week's match and how she knows she's been a bit down on her luck lately, but she's still there for Ripley, and the 2 of them are still want to be the tag team champion, and they're going to be going up against Queen Zelina and Carmella. So let's see if they can make that happen. So the Street Profits with Montez Ford and Dawkins versus Mysterios. So you have Ray and Dominic. This is our next fight card. So Dominic and Ford, they face off first. some side headlock takedowns. They're kind of working each other a little bit from Dominic. He takes Ford down. But Ford is just way more experienced. He's kind of working around Dominic, really kind of showing him the ropes. So now Ray and Dawkins, they kind of face off next. Dawkins goes down with a big Hurricane Rana. You know it's going to be coming from Rey Mysterio, man. He's just one of the best in WWE. So Ford kind of teases Dominic, like sticking his tongue out. He's got Ray in like this arm bar. He's kind of flicking his tongue at him. But then we see some really cool like tandem baseball slides going out of the ring from the Mysterios, taking the Street Profits down outside on the floor. It's really cool. And it's like they come sliding in. It's like, safe. So then Ray comes in with like this huge senton, butt plants right onto Dawkins' face. He's just eating a whole bunch of ass, man. It was pretty bad. So then Dawkins ends up eating a big tornado DDT right after that, but just a 2 count. Wasn't enough to put him down. So some great reversals, back and forth. It was a really fun match, kind of working each other. You know, Ford ends up coming in with a big frog splash, but Dominic is able to, like, broke it up, and he saved his dad. It was kind of a neat moment. So then Ray ends up countering a body slam with a Hurricane Rana, tags in Dominic, then runs over for a 619 to Dawkins. And then Dominic is up on the top post, comes down, takes Ford down with a big slam. And it's just craziness at this point. There's just way too much to try to even talk about. There are people getting thrown, some great counters. It was just a really cool match back and forth. So Dominic ends up getting flattened with a blockbuster and goes down, man. It was really neat to see. So the Street Profits get the win. That was enough to put them down. And then backstage, we see like a montage of Omos and his history with AJ Styles and some of the drama that's been going on with the two of them. They call him extremely fast and agile. I don't know about that. That's anything but that from Omos. He's just a big monster, really. So the next up, we see the Miz backstage. He's pissed off about some roses, and he's like chewing this poor guy out, saying it needs to be perfect and blah, 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 blah. And then Eric Bischoff ends up showing up. He's there. He's going to be officiating this, this wedding, this renewal of vows. And, you know, so the next fight card, we see AJ Styles, and was supposed to be up against Omos, but he's out. I think he has COVID. So AJ starts off in the middle of the ring. He has some words for Omos. He says, hey, you know, I'm here wherever you are. And he sees Grayson Waller from NXT 2.0. He's out in the crowd. And he ends up making his way into the ring and is introduced to the WWE Universe. And they all just start booing him. They hit him with the what chant. It was some great stuff, you know. And then Apollo Crews, he comes out of nowhere with his own personal giant. He's got something to say. He says, oh, you've lost your giant, but I still have mine. So then they kind of go at it. And he goes, hey, you want to you like picking on giants, AJ? Why don't you pick on me? AJ says, all right, bring it. So then we go right to a backstage interview with Carmella and Megan. So Carmella says that she expects the tag team match with Rhea Ripley and Nikki. She's looking forward to it. So we'll get to see Queen Zelina and Carmella versus Ripley and Nikki on one-day tournament. And let's see if they can actually make this for the Tag Team Women's Championship. So the next fight card, we get to see AJ Styles and Apollo Crews face off. He doesn't get to fight the Giant, he fights his buddy. So AJ Styles goes flying from the top, comes down super hard, not wasting any time, but then AJ ends up getting his butt whooped, lateral press, then slammed into the apron and just looked like it hurt. But he's a tough guy, he's not going down, right? So AJ ends up landing a really nice melee kick, super smooth, and Crews goes down hard, man. AJ gets some momentum now. He kind of gets his second win. He's coming back. This was his chance to really pick up the pace. AJ Styles lands a solid net breaker right over his knee, but wasn't enough. Crews kicked out on 2. Then he comes back with a huge power bomb of his own to AJ. So now AJ is kind of working the neck. He's really focusing on that. Gets a reverse DDT out of the corner. Really cool to see also. So then we have the Death Valley Dream to AJ on the corner apron. Well, it wasn't really the corner, it was the side apron. And man, AJ definitely felt that one. I think I felt that one. So AJ ends up finishing off Crews with a very cool style clash right into a roll up and then gets his 3 count. Then the Commander, you know, he comes in, he tries to take take on AJ, but he gets hit with the phenomenal forearm from AJ Styles. And then we go right to backstage. Rollins is talking about, you know, Owens, and you know how Owens was talking about how it was all his idea with Bobby Lashley. He's like, you know what, it's Christmas. I'm gonna give you the credit. Just, here's a gift. Yeah, it was all your idea, Owens. And he kind of laughs, and he has some Christmas stuff in the background, and of course a tacky suit. So up next we see Kevin Owens. He comes out. And he puts he's in the middle of the ring, and he's talking about day one match and how he become the new champion of WWE. And he thinks that he's better than Bobby and Big E and Rollins because he's there, and he's there every night, and they aren't. And the crowd just kind of starts to boo him at this point, and really the whole time. So he says him and Rollins, they have one heart, one mind, and one soul. They're together now. And then we see MVP. He comes up. He starts returning some smack talk. He shares a message from Bobby saying he's going to rip the wet noodle arms off of his ectoplasmic body. Like, probably one of the sickest burns I've heard in a while. So MVP ends up calling Owens stupid, and Owens is like, hey, I'm not stupid. My mom says I'm special. So then you got the Hurt business. They come out. So Cedric and Owens, they kind of end up facing off. They kind of talk some trash. So the next fight card of the night, we actually get to see Cedric Alexander and Kevin Owens face off. So the bell rings, and man, they go at it. Kevin Owens doesn't waste any time. He comes out with his patented senton, flattens him out. Great move, and then goes right into that rolling thunder into the corner. Just really, really smooth, not wasting any time. Really keeping the pace up too, man. Gotta love it from KO. So then he ends up getting a real nice neck breaker to Cedric. And then like Cedric comes back with like this handspring kick, like off the ropes, comes back, hits him. Owens finishes it up with a big stunner and gets his 3 count. This was a pretty quick match. They really did kind of go at it pretty hard, but Owens made pretty quick work of him. So then Benjamin, he comes in to say something, but he ends up getting a stunner too. He's like, get out of here. So we see a montage about Liz Morgan next, and it's showing her as a little girl and where she came from, and she talks about where she's going to be and how she wants to be the WWE Women's Champion for all the other girls out there that have come from where they're at and want to be the best. Yeah, so the next up backstage, we see Priest. He's talking about Ziggler and his upcoming match, and last week how he lost his rage and cost him the match. And he's going to be sure to really focus his rage in this match up against Ziggler. Let's see what happens. I just hope it's going to be longer than 3 minutes. So the fight card is Dolph Ziggler versus Damien Priest. And this is for the American Championship. So Ziggler is out first. He looks ready to fight. You know, he's got his hair all tied up. He looks ready. It's not all draped out, straightened, looking all, no, he's ready to fight, man. He's got it in a ponytail. So Priest comes out fast, and Ziggler dips out just to get away real quick, trying to keep the pace down. Pretty smart move, actually. Ziggler comes back just a minute later. Man, it's like he just gets manhandled by Priest. He just kind of keeps sticking him with these big hands, and it was more of a striking match than a wrestling match, to be 100% honest. But that's pretty normal with Damien Priest. He just has some mean kicks and some mean hooks, and Ziggler's just eating them all. So Ziggler ends up getting dumped into the timekeeper's corner, just thrown in there like a sack of potatoes. He goes down. Then it cuts to commercial, and we come back, and they're both in the ring. Ziggler is down, but he's not out. He gets like this great like leg drop, the famouser. Takes him down, but it wasn't enough. It was only a 2 count. Priest's rage ends up coming out at this point. He's all pissed off, you know, and then Ziggler takes a broken arrow, but that's not enough for Ziggler. He kicks out on 2. Then we see a DDT to Priest, and Ziggler locks in the cradle, really holds it in, but man, it's still, again, not enough. Another 2 count, man. So Ziggler like ends up bitch slapping Priest like right in the face, really mean and nasty. He does nothing but pissed off Priest, and he just unleashes these blows of just combinations of kicks and punches, and all the way sending him into the corner, beating him down until the ref counted him out, and the ref called a DQ. He's like, get out of here, man. So the Priest just keeps on fighting. He throws Ziggler out of the ring, and then gives him a reckoning outside of the ring onto the floor. I mean, he's just lucky he's not gonna get fined for this, man. The guy really needs to control his stuff. So finally for the night, we see Eric Bishop come out, He's got some nice dubs on. He's going to be remarrying the Miz and Maryse again. Yeah, so lame. The funniest moment of the night is Bishop says he's, in this industry, marriage is sacred and love is sacred. It's like, yeah, right. In wrestling? Come on, get out of here. So the Miz ends up like tripping trying to get into the ring. It's pretty cool. I laugh. And then Maryse comes out next, you know, and the crowd starts to boo. The Miz and, you know, he kind of goes on this rant about the Edge in the middle of his vows. And then there's even more booing when Maryse starts talking. She starts crying and stuff. And then the Miz turns to the crowd and says, hey, you guys think I should do this? It's like, your opinion doesn't matter. You willingly live in Detroit. That's probably great burn. So then he switches to like French. And even his face has a French accent. It's pretty good. He's like, but when asked, does anybody have a problem with this wedding? Speak now, forever hold your peace, you know, and the Edge. Of course, he knew he was going to be coming out. So he comes out, he starts talking all sorts of smack. And then out of nowhere, the entire ring gets covered in this like fake black blood goo stuff. I'm not really sure what it was. But it was like right when the Edge was walking away, the Miz and just the whole ring was just covered in this stuff. It's pretty funny. It reminded me of Carrie or something. All right, so here at Taking to the Ring, we like to give each fight card a fight card rating. So we have 5 for Fight Forever. We have 4, this is awesome. You got 3, you still got it. 2 is a what? And then 1 is boring, just a lame episode. Don't even bother watching it, just watch us. We're gonna be way funnier and way more entertaining. So I would give this episode a solid 2. For, you know, what? It seemed like a lot of filler tonight. You know, I get a couple, there were some call outs here and there. The Randy Orton fight with Otis was kind of lame. They really kind of seemed like they were taking it easy on each other. And then you had all this nonsense with the Miz and the marriage and I don't know, a bunch of silly stuff tonight. Well, it was an all right episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. You're amazing. If you like what you see here, please take a moment to like, share, and of course subscribe. And for more WrestleCap videos like this, just click that link right there below and check out our social. Until next time, Billy here, and don't stop believing.